نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. To use a pointer like pen or stylus or something to read the Quran, and some people have this habit, a pencil or pen, they would just go with maybe even from the back of it just to identify where they are. They find it useful for their recitation and keeping the track. Now, in principle, there's no harm with that, like it's not haram to do so, but it has not been the practice of the righteous people. It is not something that you would find people doing. It is rather unseen or unheard of among the ulama, among the ahlullah, among the shuyukhs. So they would normally use their finger, and we've seen that in our even elderly family members. You would see that in the masajid. The reason for that is the purity that you get through wudu is just so much more robust and perhaps more supportive of the fact that لا يمسه إلا المطهرون, only the most purified touch it. So when you have done your wudu and you're using your finger, especially the right finger, I have been uh, corrected by my teachers as a young student when I was doing my initial studies, and they would suggest to do it with the right hand, and you'll be blessed because everything must be done. All the good deeds should be done through your right hand, as the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He would love tayammum, the right hand being used for the good things. So yes, move your finger under the ayah with your right index finger ideally, and it is hopefully much more close to the practice of Salaf al-Salihin. And and again, it is, as I said, you inshallah ta'ala get the reward of getting some blessings, and then following that with your finger, you most purified in the state of wudu, and it would make Quran and your relationship with Quran that much more, you know, respectable, honor, the one which is more formal as opposed to very, very casual. I'm not saying that we should have a very sort of formal in such a way that we can't approach Quran. We should do that regularly, but there has to be a lot of respect. Unfortunately, we are seeing less and less respect for Quran, not in the heart, but outwardly. And you would see people holding Quran and hanging by the side. Actually, Quran is touching their thighs, or they're just walking with that in the masajid during the madrasa time. You would see people holding it and actually putting to the side where they're sitting. Now, obviously, it's a lot of that is to do with the culture. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, وَمَن يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِن تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. Whoever honor the relics, the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the icons of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's magnificence, then this is from the piety of the heart. So we must have that much honor and respect for the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you ask, is it permissible? So the question is yes. Generally it's mubah, but this is not tashabbuh. Is it advisable? To my dear friends, those who would have some sort of understanding of how we try to stick to the orthodoxy, maybe a bit too much for the modern people, and they might want to have a little bit more leeway in certain things, but even then we would try to cling and stay stuck to the mainstream Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah way, so as to keep it preserved and pass and impart it to the next generation, rather than finding ways to dilute or blur the boundaries. So I would highly encourage people to use their fingers, inshallah ta'ala, and point, and that would inshallah ta'ala be a lot more blessed. I hope inshallah ta'ala it clarifies what I wanted to say.